Sligo Rovers has always been a welcoming club. Throughout our history, countless people have come from abroad, mainly from England and Scotland, but from much further afield as well. We've had international players from Canada to Cameroon, from Benin to Bermuda, and indeed much closer to home, we've had players from at least 18 other counties across all 4 provinces here in Ireland. They came as players, managers, committee members, and indeed volunteers and supporters, and many would stay to make Sligo their home. Just a few examples. Johnny Chadha came from India to become a local legend. Johnny Armstrong came from Glasgow to become one of the best players in the League of Ireland. His son and his grandson both went on to play for the club as well. More recent times, we've had players like Gary Humes, Tony Stenson, Paul Fielding, Chris Rutherford, and many others who've built a life here. Young lads who came here probably never having heard of Sligo and stayed to make their life here. Of course, we've also had our local heroes, legends such as Tony Fagan, David Pugh, Paul McGee and Gavin Dykes, to mention just a few. And the club continues to foster our own local talent in our Super Academy setup. Who knows, maybe one day some of those young academy players will one day end up on the hollowed walls of our fabulous museum. Now, the concept of the museum was to erect 100 information panels here at the showgrounds, setting out the club's story in the lead up to its centenary in 2028, and commemorating all those who've served in a variety of capacities to make the club what it is today. The outdoor museum is the first of its kind in the country, and it's an evolving facility with plans in place to add further panels to honour even more legends as time goes on. The scope of the museum is broader than just the history of Sligo Rovers, because just as the club has always been in itself an integral part of the local community, so too the museum reflects an important element of the social history of Sligo over the last 9 decades or so. One important stat that shows the diverse makeup of the club is the fact that all of our major honours in the last 40 years have been earned under managers from beyond these shores. In 1977, for instance, we won the League of Ireland title for the first time in 40 years under Billy Sinclair from Glasgow. In 1983, we won the FAI Cup for the first time with Englishman Paul Fielding at the helm. Our famous treble success in 1994 had another Scotsman, Willie McStay, as our player manager. And of course our more recent successes in what was a golden era for the club in terms of league and cup victories, that was all achieved under 2 Englishmen, Paul Cook and Ian Barraclough. But of course, glorious victories have been the exception rather than the rule throughout our history. Our real success has been in keeping our club and our game alive and thriving through good and bad times, and in an area once regarded and indeed often referred to as a soccer outpost. This wonderful museum is an eloquent testimony to that proud tradition.